These nurses may not have been able to prevent COVID-19 from claiming so many lives in Brazil, but they're stopping the traffic in Rio de Janeiro to let people know why they're losing the fight, and even some of their own. 500 frontline health workers have died and 170,000 have been infected, and they blame the government. That's why they joined a coalition of trade unions representing 1 million healthcare professionals to take President Jair Bolsonaro to the International Criminal Court. They accuse him of genocide and crimes against humanity for downplaying the virus and ignoring their rights to basic safety measures.
Healthcare workers have to find their own means to get tested. That's absurd. If we don't know we're sick, we'll be spreading the disease to all those we're treating, including Brazil's indigenous people.
Brazil is facing the largest healthcare crisis in its history. Unemployment is soaring, and the president is at odds with the Supreme Court and Congress. Despite that, a recent poll suggests that if elections were held today, Bolsonaro would defeat all potential opponents. One reason is the government's emergency aid during the pandemic. Although it's a temporary measure, it has reduced extreme poverty to its lowest level in 40 years. Political scientist Mauricio Santoro says the $120 monthly handouts are benefiting half of Brazil's population and are helping Bolsonaro win the support of the poor, if only for a while.
And that's something interesting because they were not part of the original coalition of Bolsonaro. The president's much more a middle-class politician than somebody that speaks to the poor. But even so, the cost of the basic emergency income, it's very high for the country. So the government's not going to be able to keep it for a long time, perhaps until the end of the year, but not for 2021.
For healthcare workers like Libya, sitting back and watching the tide turn against Bolsonaro is not enough. They insist on taking him to the International Criminal Court, even though they admit the chances of his prosecution remain low. Yanakiev, Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.